Hello there and welcome back to my channel. So today we have a foundation review. It's been ages since I've done like just a foundation review, and I used to love doing foundation reviews, so you can only imagine how excited I am today to be doing one. So I went shopping this morning just to peruse, buy some makeup that I don't really need, and I came across a brand new foundation by L'Oreal. This one is called the Infallible 24-Hour Matte Cover. They have released it in 20 shades, which I think for like a drugstore foundation, that's no good actually, because do you know what, we always say that, don't we? And I'm lumping myself into the same group of people that I'm just about to criticise, but like I always say, oh yeah, like 20 shades, that's good for a drugstore brand, but is it? No, because drugstore brands probably, I mean, I don't know the facts and figures, but I'm assuming that oh my gosh, I can't say drugstore, oh my gosh, that's a mouthful. Drugstore brands, I think they do well for themselves. So you would argue, okay, who does better, L'Oreal or Fenty Beauty, Maybelline or Stila? Stila is a high-end brand, isn't it? So actually, do you know what? Maybe 20 shades is not good enough. Actually, in my head, I'm arguing with myself now, and in my head there's a little voice saying, a rather annoying voice, saying, yes, but drugstore brands, sold in drugstores, so there may not be enough shelf space to stock all of the shades. No, get a bigger shelf. I see those drawers at the bottom because I'm always rooting around in them. Put the extra shades in the drawers. There is no excuse. But anyway, guys, by the way, if my eyes look a little bit red right now, I promise I'm not stoned. I had like a full face of makeup on, and because I really wanted to start my review of this foundation, I got all of that makeup off, so that's why I may look a little bit stoned right now. Just to let you know as well, I do believe that with a foundation, in order to give a comprehensive and thorough review, I don't think it's the kind of product that you can really review in a day. Like, especially in the past when I used to try out a lot of foundations, I would often find that I would try a foundation, I would really like it that first day, give it a positive review, and then in the preceding days I would wear it and I would start to hate it. Like, there'd be things about it that I would hate, or it just wouldn't work well, like when I was in the office with the aircon, or it just started doing my head in general. So I'm going to be wearing this foundation over the next couple of days, and then I'll be coming back and giving you my kind of full thoughts, because I just feel like that's the best way to be able to give an opinion of a foundation, because they're kind of like boyfriends. You have to live with them for a bit. You have to know how messy they are, before you can actually commit. This foundation costs $9.99. The reviews are outstandingly positive on the Boots website. So out of 277 reviews, they have 4.5 stars out of 5, which is really filling me with so much optimism right now. So the foundation has SPF 18 in it. I'm just going to read you out the description, and then we're going to get straight into trying this bad boy out. So it just says, Infallible 24-Hour Matte Cover Foundation. Max the day. What the feck? With the new Infallible 24-Hour Matte Cover Foundation by L'Oreal Paris. A long-lasting foundation. It didn't say foundation, but I think that sounds better. With 24-hour matte coverage and a natural second skin finish. Formulated with an ultra blurring serum and highly mattifying powders to deliver an ultra resistant matte coverage with up to 24 hours shine resistance. Who's wearing their foundation for 24 hours? Who? I just think that you'd have to be insane to wear your foundation for 24 hours. No offense if you do, but like, when do you sleep? When do you sleep? And if you are wearing your foundation for 24 hours and you're sleeping in it, I don't think you can really criticise it in the morning for not lasting through the night time. Because if you're anything like me, you will drool in the night time. You will just drool, like drool a lot. With a high pigment concentration in a smooth fluid formula, the foundation naturally blends onto your skin for a barely there feel and full coverage finish. Say no to compromise and get ready for a foundation that won't let you down, whatever the situation. Could this cope through a 15-person orgy in a sauna? Could it though? I'm not going to test that out, but someone should. Maybe Riley Reid can try that out. And Lena the Plug. Sweat-proof, heat-proof, transfer-proof and waterproof. Finally a foundation that lasts as long as you can. Oh, L'Oreal being a little bit cheeky at the end there. I see you there, L'Oreal. I see you, you cheeky little bitch. So this foundation, I mean, really it's claiming to be everything. Full coverage but comfortable. Sweat resistant but with a barely there feel. Lasting all day. Being able to cope throughout a 15-person orgy in a sauna. Well, it didn't, but do you know what? I am going to forever be loyal to the makeup brand that in the description of their product they say this will last through a 15-person orgy in a sauna. I'll just throw my socks off and say yes, I am your loyal customer forever now. Okay, so I have this in the shade Rose Vanilla. I had no idea. I even grabbed the L'Oreal lady over and I said, I have no idea. Like, I think she was a bit pissed off actually because she spotted me like testing all of the foundations out and they weren't the samples. So I think she just thought she had to come and put a stop to that immediately. I don't have any primer on because I don't generally wear primer, so I just thought, well, I'm not going to start wearing primer today. Like, that's not what's happening here. So I just have my foundation on, which is the Garnier Skin Active Moisture Bomb. This is one of my favourite day moisturisers. It costs like £7. It gives your skin like a beautiful glow. It smells of pomegranates. It's great. I just love it. So I'm wearing this today and I'm going to be applying the foundation with a sponge because, again, I always apply my foundation with a sponge, so I'm not going to start fecking around with brushes today. I'm going to be using this sponge right here. This is from the iMagic brand. I got it from AliExpress for like a couple of pounds. She could beat the Beauty Blender's ass. She really could. She's a great sponge. I have, I'd say, combination skin. My skin is prone to getting oily in my T-zone, but then recently it has started feeling quite dry. So yeah, I would definitely describe my skin as combination. I am experiencing some hormonal breakouts right now, so yeah, we've got a little bit going on upon the face. I have pores, I have fine lines because I'm 35. So yeah, I do have quite a lot that I like, that I want to cover, and that I like to cover. I generally go for medium coverage foundations and I do prefer a dewy finish. This is a matte finish. So we're just going to see how that goes. Okay, so we're going to see. I'm going to shake her up. There's nothing to shake. I think she's going to be quite thick. I love the packaging. It's a squeezy plastic tube. It's a basic little bitch, like just like me. Just going to squeeze a little bit out onto my hand. She does look to have quite cool undertones, so that's great. I mean, I don't really know much about undertones, but yeah, it looks like it's like skin tone, so wonderful. Okay, oh my gosh, I'm kind of nervous. Why am I so nervous? I don't know why I'm nervous. I'm gonna have a little bit of my smoothie. This is the Plant Kitchen smoothie. I've never tried it before. It's either gonna taste delicious or it's gonna taste like I've just eaten some weeds in my back garden, because it's got turmeric in, and I know turmeric's meant to be like the new superfood. It's meant to be really, really good for you. But I'm not convinced yet. I'm not convinced. Okay, so I'm going to start with one side of my face and then we can kind of compare the difference. So I'm just going to pop a little bit on with my finger. Yeah, this does look very kind of beigey, I would say. I don't know where the rose is actually coming into the name, because when I think of roses, I think of like pink or red. But this is definitely not pink or red at all. It should be called beige vanilla. That would definitely be, I think, a more appropriate name. Like, you would definitely get a fuller coverage if you were using a brush. But as we've discussed, I'm not a brush kind of girl. So, oh my gosh, this is looking really, really nice so far. Like, one of my pet hates with foundation, I just hate it when you feel like you've got foundation on. I want to wear foundation, but I don't want to feel like I'm wearing foundation, you know? Do you know what? This looks really, really beautiful so far. As I said, I do definitely prefer a dewy kind of radiant finish, just because I think that it, in my opinion, I just think it's more flattering and it makes your skin look healthier, it looks more natural. But I'm actually really liking the look of this, and I wouldn't say at this point it's flat matte, but then again, it's not had any time to dry yet, but right now I'm really, really liking it. Although I don't know if I'd say full coverage, I probably would say medium, but I'm applying it with a sponge, and I am also being very careful not to put too much on, because I've fallen for that in the past, and I feel like actually I've just put way too much on. But hey-oh, guys, hey-oh. Worst things happen at sea. Like being eaten by a shark. Do you know what? Everyone's really afraid of sharks, but in my opinion, like, I'm way more scared of there being like a giant octopus, you know, under the sea with all of his tentacles. That actually freaks me out more than like a shark, honestly, because a shark, he has one mouth, but an octopus, he has like, what, 8 tentacles? Oh my gosh, like literally, I feel like I could dodge your mouth, but I don't know if I could dodge 8 tentacles. Okay, that just made me think of the orgy again. Oh my gosh. Anyway, guys, do you know what? I should just stop talking, I think. Stop talking and apply. Oh my gosh, I'm really loving this so far, and I definitely think that the shade is perfect. Perfection. Like, I don't think I've ever found a drugstore foundation where the shade has matched me, like, ever. They've either been too light and they look chalky, or they're too orange and they just look terrible. So, oh my gosh, this is really, really nice, guys. I'm really liking it so far. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I love this. I love the finish. Look at that. He looks perfect. Oh my gosh, guys. Flawless. Watch out. The flawless lady's coming through. Do you know what? The only thing I don't like, can you see my pores right now? Oh my gosh, like literally, what's going on there? Oh my gosh, I don't like that. Seriously, what's going on? Oh my gosh, I don't know what's happening there. Should I just like... Oh, do you know what? I think this is where a primer would be really, really helpful. You know, like a smoothing primer. But I have just bought, on my shopping expedition this morning, I treated myself to the e.l.f. putty primer. Oh my gosh, in my head then I was thinking putty pore primer, and I couldn't work out which P word I wanted to use, but the putty primer, I have heard so many great things. Totally bought into the hype. So, you know, I may try this foundation out with that primer over the next couple of days. But yeah, I'm not liking like how my pores are looking really. But ta-da-da! This is one side of my face done. I'm really liking it, guys. I'm really liking it. Apart from where my pores are on my nose, I do feel like it's made my skin look really, really smooth. It's covered up my spots, but like I wouldn't say it's like a super full coverage. Definitely doesn't look cakey. It looks more medium coverage, like a second skin, just like it said. It is slightly accentuating those lines under my eyes, but maybe that's just because I'm getting older that they're there, probably. And I think all foundations will probably accentuate them. Do you know what? I really, really like this foundation so far. I think you can see a huge difference when you compare both sides of my face. I'm feeling so positive right now. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to finish off the other side of my face, and then I will be back. Okay, so I have finished off my entire face. And the thing that is kind of jumping out at me so far is A, I think it's just made my face look really flawless, but B, it definitely does feel weightless, and it also feels like it's dried to a powder finish. I know that in the description it did mention that it contained a serum and powder, and yeah, like my skin, it just feels set. It feels like I've already powdered, which is great, but has also left me in a little bit of a confused situation because I'm not sure, like, do I powder? If I powder, is that going to be too much? Is it going to make my skin feel dry? I don't know. Even on my lids where I've applied the foundation, oh, it's kind of creasing a little bit there, but I don't know what to do. I think I am just going to go ahead and powder just to be on the safe side, but I am going to be using the lightest of the light hands just because I do not want to over powder my face. So to powder my face, I'm just going to use the DSM mineral powder. This is from AliExpress. It's a beautiful, beautiful, very lightweight, finely milled mineral powder. So I'm just very, very lightly setting my face just to be on the safe side, you know. It starts to kind of oil throughout the day. At least no one can say, oh, you didn't powder. You did not powder. We did not see you powder. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to finish off the rest of my makeup and then I'll be back to let you know how everything is feeling and looking. And this is why I'm so awkward, because I don't know what else to say at this point, but anyway, I'll be back in a sec. Hello there, so I am back. I've finished off the rest of my makeup. I filmed another video which was a mascara first impression on the Falsies Lash Lift by Maybelline. I have had this foundation on now for about an hour and I am loving it. I'm loving it so far. Like, I'm really, really impressed with it. Not only does it feel just like barely there on my face, it feels like so lightweight. When I've kind of touched my face, it just feels so soft. I just think that on camera the foundation looks so flawless. In person as well, it looks flawless. And yes, it is a matte. I just think it looks flawless. Oh my gosh. And it's very different for me because I am more kind of used to a radiant finish, but I do think that actually, like, matte finishes do have that, they just look a little bit more perfect, and I think it's because they look a little bit faker. So they look a bit faker, that maybe you've got more coverage. They look a bit more flawless in a way. Usually dewy foundations tend to not be full coverage. They tend to be a lighter coverage, which again is always like gonna not be as flawless. Maybe it's like a matte full coverage. But anyway, I am really, really loving this foundation so far. Like, I'm really feeling optimistic about it. But I'm going to be keeping the foundation on now for the rest of the day, so I may do a check-in later, but if not, you'll be seeing me again in a few days when I've really had the opportunity to road test this foundation, and I should really say face test the foundation, because this face ain't going to be rolling on any roads, but this face is going to be doing a lot of facing. Just to show you how the foundation looks in natural daylight, this is how my face is looking. So I've had the foundation on now for about 3 hours. I'm just on my way to go pick up the boys from school, and I'm really, really loving it. Like, still just as much. It feels super comfortable. I'm just loving the whole look of it. So sorry guys, I've been eating like pretzels and I just like felt one on my lip. So here we go. Oh, these are my bins, by the way, and that's a bottle that Honeys must have missed getting in the bin, and this is a plane going by. So I'm going to go now because there's just so many distractions out here, but this is everything and I'm liking it. It's the end of the first day of wearing this foundation. I've had it on for about 7 hours now, which I know isn't like actually it is quite a long time now I come to think about it, but I just think that I'm going to like this one. Like, I really think I'm going to like it. It feels like super weightless. It just feels comfortable. It's controlled my oils. My skin doesn't feel dry as well. For the first time in a long time, my skin does not feel dry. And I just went to get the boys, and as I was walking along, I was thinking this foundation really reminds me of another foundation. And that foundation is the Too Faced Peach Perfect, which I have loved for the past year, but recently it has started to make my skin feel quite dry. This is like a new and improved version of that, and it's cheaper. So I'm really loving this foundation so far. It's not making my skin feel dry, and it's not making my skin oily, so I think it's got everything covered. But anyway, I'm going to wear it tomorrow, and then I shall let you know if anything new comes to light. But yeah, so far so good. So this is going to be the final conclusion. I have worn the foundation over 3 different days. A day chilling out at home, and another day chilling out at home, and then a day in the office, and on all 3 days it did nothing but amaze me by its fabulousness. I tend to be extremely picky with foundations, primarily because my skin is extremely high maintenance. One day it thinks it's dry, another day it thinks it's oily, and there's the fact that I'm 35, so I have fine lines, I have pores, I have breakouts. So all of these things combined just make finding a wonderful foundation an extremely challenging task. But I feel so happy that I have tried this foundation because I think it's really good. So the main reasons why I really love this foundation are that it just feels so comfortable. You can barely feel it on your skin. It just doesn't feel like it's there. It's the foundation equivalent to a silent trump that doesn't smell, in that you just don't know it's there. I mean, I don't know why I even said that. Can you not tell that I live in a house with 3 boys? I mean, really. But I've lost my train of thought now. The foundation lasts really well all day. It never feels dry, and it never feels oily, and it never looks oily. I love the fact that with this foundation you don't have to overset it. So I find with a lot of my other foundations I really have to like make sure that I use setting powder, particularly under my eyes, around my nose, and on my smile lines, because if I don't, sorry, I was just like terribly distracted then by my phone, but if I don't set those areas, I find that the foundation will like sink into them, and I'll have like very noticeable like foundation lines. But with this foundation, because it kind of dries down to a beautiful kind of velvet powder finish, you don't feel like you need to set your face, and you don't actually feel like you do need to set your face. And I'm coming from the standpoint of not being a very oily person, so maybe if you have like oily skin you would need to kind of set your face more. But honestly, by the time this foundation's dried down, it feels like it's kind of set itself. And I think that this will be particularly useful if you have a dry skin, because I find that once I've kind of set my face, I tend to like feel like I've got a dry face. So I like the fact that with this foundation you do not need to put too much powder on your face. So it's kind of like a foundation and a powder, and even like a primer in one. I think this foundation is revolutionary. Sorry guys, I have written like a little list for myself because I literally have the memory of a fish, so I'm just referring to my list. I just don't want to miss anything out because I've just been so impressed with this foundation. And also, this is the Carl Pilkington postcard. I don't know why I have a Carl Pilkington postcard, but I do. So, and it's serving me well right now as a list. The foundation doesn't appear to oxidize. I've not noticed that the shade kind of, deepens throughout the day or kind of turns orange, which I do find with a lot of other foundations. It kind of retains its actual shade, which is great. I also find that it's super easy to apply and you don't need much product. Oh my gosh. Are we finished now? So it's really easy to apply. I'm sure that if you were to use a brush to apply, you would get a higher coverage, but I mean, I'm really happy with the coverage. So I've had the foundation on today for only about 4 hours so far, but I think it's just looking so good, if I don't say so myself. I actually feel like I could be converted to a matte finish, because like the reason why I've not really gone for matte finish foundations in the past is because they've always just really emphasized my age. So I've always felt like a dewy finish is just a lot more kind of flattering, whereas I think that this finish, it just looks so flawless. And oh my gosh guys, I really love this foundation. What I'm trying to say is, and believe me, I could go on all day about this, just like raving about it, but what I'm trying to say is you should give this foundation a go. Whether you've got dry skin, you've got oily skin, you've got more mature skin, I would just go for this foundation. Give it a go. I think it's brilliant. I've been using the Too Faced Peach Perfect for a good while now. That's been like my go-to foundation, and I've really had a good experience with it. But over the past few weeks, it's been making my skin feel like really, really dry. So I definitely feel like I have a new foundation bay. I'm going to be using up my tube of Peach Perfect, and then I'm just going to be moving on to this foundation. I say well done, L'Oreal. Well done on this amazing foundation. I would be really keen to hear what your thoughts are, and also I think it would be really useful for other people as well, so that it's not just me like giving my opinion. I know that foundations can be hugely subjective because all of our skin types are so incredibly different. So if you have tried this foundation, it would be really, really fantastic if you could put some feedback as to, you know, how you found the foundation in the comments down below. That would be amazing. But anyway guys, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching the video today. I really, really appreciate it, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye. Oh, bye. Bye. Why can I not say bye? Why guys? Bye. Oh my gosh, I can't say it. Anyway guys, I'm gonna go. Bye.